the best way for an artist to directly contact you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, we have, I guess, channels like the info ad or like guidelines or this or that. You know, obviously they could just reach out to my email that I get them, you know, because I reach out. If someone's emailing, I try my best, if it's that info ad, you know, to reach back as soon as I can, because I know how it feels when you don't get a response at times. But a lot of times I'm doing the reaching out. You know, I'm the one who's kind of trying to approach it. Obviously, it'd be great if it was the other way around, or reach to that position where stuff is just on your desk, you know, from the get-go. But I still feel that, you know, there's something to be said about someone reaching out and, you know, appreciating the art that's being made, and you know, it's just, you know, trying to talk. Even though if I won't sign it, like I just love talking to the artist or whoever's involved with the project to see what the plan is, you know, and see if there was a way to help out. But sometimes I'll just point blank say, oh, you know, maybe you're not ready, and, you know, TuneCore's the way to go, or Reverb Nation, you know, like, you know, and just check back later, or let's just keep in touch, because the last thing I want to do is take a percentage for something that I just feel like we're not doing anything for anyways, and that I feel happens a lot. So it's like, it's more or less just saying, hey, this is the way to go, and you know, whenever you are ready, just come back and, you know, kind of go from there.
When an artist signs up with InGroove, is there a time commitment?
You know, there's a 2-year term, but it's really all based around projects. So if an artist comes on and they give us an EP or they give us an album, it's really centered around that. It's not going to be centered around the artist's career. So if they have an opportunity that shows up, they're not locked down, right? It's not that sense of locking someone down. It's and really it's centered around labels, you know. So that's why we're always trying to say, hey, we're going to sign the label, even though it might be a 1 project or 2 project label. It's really the deals with the label. And so one thing that I love doing is like signing up management companies that have multiple artists, you know, or have a plan for these artists. So it's the deals more with the manager instead of one specific artist, you know. That's all.
You know, it's interesting because I have been looking at the different companies, and I have a indie label with the 1 artist, and I didn't realize that I guess the different companies require different meta information. And I know from having a production library, that metadata is no joke,
right,
just in general.
Right.
So that's good to know, because that would be something that would push me to, you know, sign up with a company like InGroove that I know can take care of that, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the most part on the metadata side, it's, you know, I think every distributor's kind of the same. They have that console that you go on and that you're going to input information on, you know, and really a big one is, you know, knowing what the publishing info is, you know, and obviously the basic track and artist name, that's really what it is. And then, you know, ISRCs and UPCs, you know, we create those for you if you don't have them, no charge with that. And that's it, you know, because everything else you'll have, it's audio and album art, you know, so it's fine.
So when you all offer label services, is it just like a flat rate? Can you select certain services, like if you want a product manager versus, I don't know, someone? Yeah,
I mean, you know, the in-residence, it's very kind of, it's a limited, what do you call it, kind of team, right? Not limited in that sense, but saying they can't take on a lot of projects. So it's, the label services is very, in the sense, almost, I feel we cherry pick all our content, but that one's even more because it's, you know, very hands-on. It's very, that label mentality of like, all right, that label manager, that's the project they do. They go to photo shoots, they go to music video things, they do all of that, you know, they help out with that because they're managing a budget as well, you know, and making sure it's being, you know, everything's being allocated correctly. Whereas our distribution side, where we call distributed label side, you know, is probably that fit where, you know, again, still cherry pick, but, you know, we have that label manager, but it's not as intense where it's like they're, you know, very heavily involved. It's more like, you know, getting on the phone, making sure that everything's set up correctly, making sure that if you have a priority release that it's set up for marketing, and that the ringtones are being cut, the video's being processed, and all of that, and getting you in touch with our digital team too. So that's really where it's at. Where, you know, not saying on the in-residence side that we don't take chances on new artists, but, you know, obviously a life that's coming in with past sales history, it's easier to forecast something, whereas trying to sign another artist where we feel that, you know, we don't know what the potential upside, even though we think there is potential upside, so we'd start them in the distributed label section and then kind of work its way up if it's, you know, necessary. Or at least get the people involved that need to be involved on their side you know, to help out their team.